Just woke up and I was praying. And as I was praying, I was discussing, I was talking about negative thoughts and jealousy and envy and feeling those thoughts, noticing those thoughts and feeling those feelings of envy and jealousy towards like a friend or a person. And I understood that I was already someone who is aware when I am envious or jealous of somebody, and aware of when, like, of how I feel and why I could be feeling that way towards them. And so I always make an effort to, um, I guess, not let that impact how I treat that person, because they don't know that I feel that. And I try to mask my feelings a lot, anyways. So people don't know necessarily how I'm feeling or what I'm thinking, but I do try to like not let that affect how I treat a person, because I also feel like it's not fair on them. Like, I know how it's, and I know how it feels to have been, you know, treated unkindly, because I can sense or I can tell somebody is jealous of me. And it's like, I understand that everybody experiences and feels envy and jealousy. I don't believe that that is something that we should shame ourselves for. I think all of the narrative around the shame, like around, kind of judging people and hating on like jealous friends or envious friends, is not helping the problem, but it's making it worse. Although I do feel like the although I do feel like the narrative behind the jealous friend is that, like, she is not just jealous, but is plotting against you because of her jealousy, or is constantly in competition with you because of her jealousy. But I do feel like at the end of that day, that person is still, at the end of the day, the person is still just feeling jealousy. It's still just feeling envy. Just like a person who does feel that feeling, but is not trying to be competitive with the other person, or is trying to um harm that friend or plot against that friend. So because they're all feeling the same feeling, I think it's important that we address it all at this in a similar way. Like, at least let, maybe there can be different ways because one's plotting and the other person is not plotting, for example. But I think it's important to at least just let the main message be one that is more gracious and gives everyone grace and um gives everyone a chance to realize that their feelings aren't something that they should be ashamed of, but acknowledge and feel. Because if we keep pushing this idea of shame and the bad, jealous friend and the kind of villainizing them, it causes them to suppress that feeling of jealousy and envy. And I've been on the receiving end of that. Not to say that, yeah, because I have been jealous of my friend before, but when I was watching content when I was much younger, and like as a teenager, like maybe 14, 13, I didn't know any better. So I was watching that content thinking, oh, I'm such an awful person, even though I never did anything against my friend. I just was jealous of her or envious of her, and I didn't know what to do with my feelings, because I was still trying to learn how to even feel feelings and process these type of things, because I come from a Christian household, and that type of stuff is already shamed in the Bible. So it just was not helpful, and I would just end up repressing it and feeling bad about myself and bad about my self-esteem, rather than learning that I can actually just not like repress it, and instead accept how I feel how I feel where I feel it in my body, understand and come to terms and peace with why I'm feeling that feeling, and then go from there. Help myself, whether it's through journaling, help myself, whether it's through, giving myself a bit of space from that person, help myself, whether it's through, you know, um, figuring out what it is about that person that I feel jealous about. Is it something that I can obtain? And if it's not, then why do I want it? What have I been associating that thing that they have with? Is it with success? Is it with being attractive? Is it with being better than me or better than somebody else? And is that association even true? Do you need to have that thing to be more successful? Do you need to have that thing to be attractive? Do you need to have that thing to be above somebody else or below someone else, whatever? And does that association even matter? Because at the end of the day, things like attractiveness, things like stuff like that, it's like you will always be attractive to the person who would find you attractive, to whoever is for you. So you don't necessarily need what people have to, I guess, be attractive. You just need to enhance what it already is about you, because at least for me, I want to attract people who are for me and not for the other person that I was envious of. I don't want that, because therefore I'm gonna realize through conversations, through hanging out with that person who I've attracted, for example, that we don't really align. And it's because I wasn't being myself first. I was busy focusing, trying to be somebody else, or thinking that, and or him, like, not hindering, but stopping myself from being happy or being satisfied or being, appreciative of myself, being okay with myself. I was halting that. I was saying, no, I can't have that. I can't be at peace with myself until, or I'm not good enough until I have what that other person has. When you have that thing, do you become that much more peaceful? Your brain might tell you, yes, you have. But when you go through the day, and even then, when your brain has told you, oh yeah, you are good enough or whatever, something else will come up again. And something else will make you feel like you're not good enough or whatever, because you haven't taught your brain to be okay and to accept what is as it is right now. That's why you're going to continuously look for things and look and keep thinking there is something not good enough about you, something that is not all right with you, because your brain is still operating from a space of scarcity, operating from a place of lack, operating from a place of, okay, we're in survival mode. I need to keep getting better and better and better, because what is right now is not enough. That mindset will drain you. That mindset will kill you off early. It will kill you off early. Because whether energetically or literally, I'm not going to be here and be spewing out scientific knowledge. I know, of course, it may not actually physically kill you. It could. But I know for sure, energetically, it will take from you. Because at the end of the day, before we are all of these things that we were supposed to, before we were all of these things, and these awful standards that never considered us and who we are and our gift and our light and how we make people laugh and smile in our own personal lives. Those standards never thought of us in the first place. But these are yet the same standards that we put upon ourselves, like these same body standards and, beauty standards that we put upon ourselves. And we judge ourselves harshly by. But they don't even think about you. They don't know you. So why are we thinking about them? Think about it. The people who made the standards, I mean, in my head, I think they are probably white, straight, elderly, like now they would be mother freaking elderly, upper class men. Those men are not thinking about me. Those men don't give a fuck about me. They're giving a fuck about the big profits they're going to be making from running these makeup products, makeup companies, plastic surgery companies, and all of these different things in the beauty industry. They're sitting in some nice, sunny place, having the time of their life, making bank, making serious money off of people's insecurities. You have to think about it. Behind every purchase you're making, in order to try and align yourself with the body standards, there is a white man profiting off of that shit. And he don't know you. And he don't give a fuck about you or your bank account. He don't care. So why should you? Why should you? And it's not even just about buying things. I understand that. But like maybe around, like being around friends or being in public or online, and you're seeing people who are really gorgeous. It's like, that girl is beautiful, or that boy is handsome, or that person is attractive. You might see that. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you therefore are not attractive as well. You have to think, we're living on a planet with maybe 8 billion, 9 billion, I think now, people on this earth. Somebody else is going to find you attractive and you're going to find them attractive. I've been letting myself know that there is absolutely no way that I will never meet a person who is for me. I could never be attractive. I don't believe that. And I also believe as well that let's take a step back. Take a step back. Before we worry so much about attractiveness and how attractive we are to others, are you attractive to yourself? That's what I'd like you to find out. Let's find out if we actually find ourselves attractive. If the answer is no, why? Is it still because of the standards? Or is it still because we're not actually appreciating what is about ourselves right now and seeing the beauty in that right now? I think there's a lot of things that are attractive about me, to me, things that I like about myself that aren't necessarily part of the beauty standard, but I think is very attractive about myself. I think that. And I'm learning to see more things like that through continuously disassociating from the standards. Okay? Similar thing with what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. And also like working on your attributes as well. If you're a creative person, if you are somebody who is thoughtful, who is kind, someone who is very giving, somebody who is honest, a loyal person, I think those traits are very attractive. And so much more as well, like just being somebody who stands up for people, I think that is very attractive. All of those things, those standards don't consider that. Those standards, those beauty standards, see all of us as just ways to make money. So of course they're not going to pick attributes that can actually increase somebody's self-esteem to realize about themselves. Like strong, like unwavering self-esteem. Because your traits and your character is going to be much slower to change in comparison to maybe your age and your skin aging, for example. Our skin ages with time, and they be pushing all of this aging, anti-aging BS. I can be 15 right now, 18 right now. I'm 18. I could be 18 right now. When I'm 88, my face will look very different to how it looks right now. But I know one thing will not change. I will still be a very loyal person. I know that one thing will not change. I will still be a very emotionally intelligent person. I know that one thing will not change, which is that I will still be somebody who stands up for other people, who disagrees with injustice. I know that those things will not change about me. So of course they would not want to try and make profit off of that, because it's less like, what are you gonna buy? What are you gonna buy to improve that? What are you going to buy constantly? What are you going to feel less certain about or compare yourself to? What is there to do that with if those are the things that we're focusing on, your character? You can't really say if I'm a loyal person. You either are or you aren't, really. You either are or you just aren't. And that therefore those big money boys are not going to be able to profit off of that. Whereas my age and my skin, I accept, and I'm learning to accept even more, but I accept that as I am right now, my face looks like this. And this is me when I've woken up. But I completely understand that when I'm 88, my face will not look like this when I've woken up. It won't. And that's what they want to profit off of, by telling you that that is not good, that the way you naturally are is not okay. And at least it's a physical thing, so that's ever changing. So we can profit off of that. We can work on that. There is nothing to work on. It's called aging. And aging is not bad. It's just called being, existing. Isn't it so beautiful that our existence can show us the stages we've gone through, the ways in which we have changed, both internally and externally. It's like a diary, and I keep a lot of my journals. Like, I've been keeping them for a decade now. And I love that. That's another thing I love about myself, or appreciate about myself. But it just goes to show that, like, these beauty standards, they were not thinking about us. They just weren't thinking about us as human beings, but instead as consumers. And because you're not seen as a human being to those people making money, who are also, mind you, human beings, but instead as a consumer, there is a lack of empathy there. There is a lack of almost humanity there, and seeing that person as a human being first. That's not there. It's not there. So you owe it to yourself to see yourself as a human being, because that's exactly what you are. They don't know you. So you don't need to bother about them or their standards. They can keep living to that age. But trust me, when you free yourself from that standard, you become a lot happier. Slowly but surely, because I know and understand that, like, these beauty standards and stuff, they are kind of ingrained into us. We've been taught them since we were children, in one way or another. Even I'm learning as I speak to you. I'm still learning. But it does help us. It frees us a little bit, because it reminds us that we are so much more. We have so much more to give. We have so much more to flipping care about than that. Don't reduce yourself to that. Don't only see yourself, engage with yourself through the standard. Based on that standard, are you pretty enough today? Are you good looking enough today? Based on that standard, are you doing enough today? No, you are enough right now. You are already enough right now, because you're living and breathing. I think our standard should be, are you alive and are you healthy? If the answer is yes for both, you you are acing that standard, baby. You are absolutely crunching through. You're the mother freaking standard, matter of fact. That's what I've been learning to teach, to remind myself. Am I healthy? Yes. Oh, great. Good news. Great. Okay. And I want to focus more so on keeping to that standard by helping myself get healthier. And finally facing all of those habits that I know that don't help me become healthier. Whether it's sleeping late, eating whatever there is, not doing enough fitness, whatever that is for you. Whatever that is for you, because I know what it is for me. But let's focus on achieving and trying to get to that standard from a place of self-respect. Ultimately, from a place of self-respect. I might put my 1-2 piece about my 1-2 piece. I might share my 1-2 pence about self-love, self-acceptance, self-respect. But I saw this really interesting take, at another time, but I saw this really interesting take on body respect, rather than body positivity and all this stuff. And I think self-respect or body respect just helps you. There's less pressure. I think actually either way there could be less or more pressure put on it, but I think it's less about the pressure and just more about, yeah, I'm going to talk about this another time.